All right, what's happening, everybody? I'm back. I'm here. What's going on? What's happening? What's up? Hey, hold on. Let me do it right. As I portal into your living rooms, computers, cell phones, and all that stuff with my sling rings, and we get ready to talk a little bit. I'm gonna try to keep the spoilers down, but we're gonna try to get into a little bit of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Yo, what's happening, everybody? I know I took some time off. It is what it is. What's happening to my man Eddie, Thomas, Ron? Appreciate y'all joining in the live chat. Oh man, listen here. I just be tired on the Sunday, man. I be like, whoo. For those of you that follow me on a personal note, you know, I be tired, man. Grandson be playing flag football on Sundays. I'm tired. I got lights flashing because I'm flapping my leg. I need to stop that. That's actually kind of annoying. I don't even know what. I guess I do that when I'm playing video games. I guess I need to kill the flashing lights. Wait a minute. Really? Really? Oh, man. That's what I get. There we go. Woo! Man, I had to let y'all look at my back. I hope I ain't show any plumber's crack on that. But what's happening, everybody? Once again, you're here. And you could be anywhere, but I'm glad you're here in the multiverse of YouTube. I guess I'm just really pulling that on. Now, before I get started, there may be some spoilers in this review. I'm going to try to stay away from major spoilers, just to let you know. But just the way I am looking at you now is a spoiler. So, you know, once you see the movie, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Because I see you. But anyway, okay. Before we even get started, I hope everybody's been doing well. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do two things. One thing that you guys have not missed, and then one thing that you guys haven't heard from me in a long time. So let's let the shameless plug while I sip my random adult beverage, and then we'll get into the surprise. What's up, everybody? It's shameless plug time. So thanks for checking out the podcast, Going Full Nerd. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe everywhere possible. So look for Going Full Nerd on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, GoingFullNerd.com, and my Twitter handle, ONYXXX1969. You can also listen to the audio version on its home, Anchor.fm, but also on Pandora, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you consume your podcast listening pleasure. Hey guys, let's get on with the show. Getting on with the show, let me go ahead and hit the on-air light. Boom. Oh, that's bright. Let me turn the on-air light off. That's kind of, I mean, it's cool. It looks good to me. If you've seen the picture on Instagram, it looks cool, but that's too much harsh light. I'd have to turn off all sorts of stuff before I do it. I'll try that another time. But this is something you guys have not heard in a while, especially since the pandemic started, when movie theaters closed. I've got, yes. And this is the time where Omar should be here because he always asks about this. The top 5 domestic box office in the U.S. comes back as of today. Top 5 domestic United States box office comes with number 1, this week's release, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, which we are reviewing today, comes in at $185 million. Distributed by Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures. Followed by number 2, which was last week's number 1, The Bad Guys, animated feature by Universal Pictures, pulling in $9.7 million. Then you have at number 3, last week's number 2, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, pulling $6.2 million. Video game movies, I don't know. I just... Anyway, we talk about that. Coming in at number 4, which was last week's number 3, Fantastic Beasts, The Secrets of a Dumbledore. Am I done? Is everybody else like me and done with Harry Potter? I mean, I mean, if Daniel Radcliffe about what, 40 now? I mean, I'm just saying. But anyway, and then last but not least, holding at number 5, which was last week's number 5. I need to watch this. It's another multiverse related film called Everything Everywhere All at Once. You know what? I need to see that eventually. I do, and I'll get to it because there's a couple of things I don't even see on here. As a matter of fact, if I go to the domestic box office, if I go all the way down, yo, Morbius, nowhere to be found. Well, it drops on the 17th on home video, so that's where I'm gonna get that. And the Bat. Well, that's, I mean, but that's already on HBO Max. Go figure. What's up? So here we go. We're gonna talk. Before I start even talking, what I'm gonna go ahead and say, Multiverse of Madness came out. Very fitting is this weekend because it's Mother's Day weekend. So those of you who have, baby mama, wife with kids, your kids, which wife, which ex, your mama, your mama's mama, those who raised you as a mama, wish them a very happy Mother's Day. Come on, guys. This is what this day is for. Now, tomorrow is Mother's Day. So some of you mothers, and I know a few mothers, there's a couple of mothers, person that cut me off on the highway, you mother, tomorrow's your day. But, I'm just saying, it's just little stuff. I apologize. I digress. I just acted up. But here goes the thing. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna talk a little bit about Doctor Strange. I know people have not seen it yet. I repeat, I am not going to spoil this as much as I can. I am doing my best not to spoil it. Okay? I'm gonna do my best. Do my best. So, let's talk. Overall, I enjoyed myself when I went to the movies and I sat down and I watched Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. As you can see, follow me on Instagram. I had a cool Multiverse of Madness t-shirt on. Me and my wife went to the movie theater, gouged our faces with food, drinks, and we were merry and we enjoyed a decent movie. Now, being the Marvel fan that I am and that I have been solely vested in watching a whole bunch of things and seeing the onslaught of internet rumors, internet wishes, and things that people were saying that was and wasn't going to happen, and we waited through. So many people were waiting on Tom Cruise to show up as an Iron Man variant. No. That is not a spoiler. That is a no. But you did see Tom Cruise in a Top Gun Maverick trailer prior to the movie starting. Now, let's talk about Doctor Strange. Now, with Doctor Strange, I'll get to my numerical review of the film. And I'm going to say I am split of my multiversal personalities with this movie. Okay? I will say I enjoyed it. I had a good time at the movie. It is visually appealing. It is actually a very good story. But being invested in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, there are so many questions that have been left unanswered and some questions that have been kind of clarified for me. Now, with this being said, this movie is a multiverse movie. Now, a lot of the things that we've been watching on Disney Plus and seeing of are dealing with alternate timelines. So, my question to Marvel, because now I'm being the guy I am, I'm actually kind of confused now. Are we dealing with alternate timelines or are we dealing with alternate universes? Because there's a big difference. There is a huge difference. Our Lokis, our Kang the Conquerors, the things that we were looking for, the things that we were thinking about, variants, and different versions of characters we already know, as shown in the Loki series, which I'm not spoiling anything by telling you about Loki because you should have watched that review a long, long time ago and caught up and watched everything on Disney Plus. But let's talk. So we're looking at this, and we got Doctor Strange, seen him in the trailer. We got Wong, seen him in the trailer. We got America Chavez, seen her in the trailer. There are things in the trailer that we have heard and we have seen in the final trailers, but I'm not going to talk about it because there are things that are directly related. Now, Marvel had a huge conniption. I got to use the word conniption, but Marvel had a big stink because a lot of scenes were basically spoiled in the bootlegs that have been crossing the internet. I did my best to try not to go and look at those before I went to the movies because I wanted to go with a clear vision on seeing this, because I really was expecting not as much as I got, but I was expecting something totally different. But I understand. Now, things that were missing from the film that I really felt would have been better if it was included. Things that I was led astray to. Hopefully, this is not spoilers. I'm going to say for those who, these may be close to being spoilers, so put your hands over your ears if you haven't seen it, or if you care about that kind of stuff, go la 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 while I'm talking right now. So, characters I did not see that I wish I did see that I was hoping would be in this film. First character would be the Vision. I was really hoping to see Vision in here. I mean, you bill it with Scarlet Witch and Doctor Strange, former Avengers. You got Scarlet Witch now. The last time we saw Scarlet Witch was in the WandaVision miniseries on Disney Plus. And that's the last time we saw White Vision. And I'm going to call him White Vision because that's what it is, but really it's Vision. And he flew off, and that was the last we saw of him. Now, I was really expecting or hoping to see Paul Bettany reprise the character of the Vision in Multiverse of Madness in some kind of way, especially since they were really pushing in the commercials, the trailers, and all the promotional material that you would see Wanda, the Scarlet Witch, and her kids, Billy and Tommy. I guess because the OG Vision is dead. I mean, you didn't bring in the White Vision. I mean, are they his kids or are they not? It's Vision's body. I mean, how would that go for child support? I mean, it. But anyway, that was one thing I was expecting. Number two, I was expecting a little more, what they would say, definition of some of the things that were going on. The main antagonist was really a big throw off from what was kind of, I'm not going to call it leaked, but what was anticipated. But it made me sit back and say, damn. I kind of felt like I was Kevin Hart talking to Don Cheadle, and Don Cheadle says, I'm at 52 years old. I kind of felt like, when I saw the villain reveal, I was like, damn. So that right there kind of shook me. And I was like, wow, that was out the blue, but it made sense, especially as a comic book person. With and I could say this, slight spoiler, we know it's going to be in there, the Darkhold. But we didn't get the villain I thought we were going to get. Okay, I get it. So right now we're still leaving. Let's talk about Doctor Strange. I mean, Doctor Strange really has gone through a whole bunch of different stuff. This would be the sixth appearance of Benedict Cumberbatch in a Marvel movie as Doctor Strange. Don't ask me to sit here and talk about them all. I think it's Infinity War, Endgame, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man No Way Home. That's 4. This movie's 5. There's a 6. What was the 6? Oh, No, what was the sixth one? Can't remember. He was mentioned in a sixth movie. What was this? Anyway, 5 or 6. Don't get me lying. All right, all right. So here goes the thing. Didn't get the villain I was looking for. Kind of upset on that. I ended up did not get the connections to What If that I was hoping for, which leads me to figure out, to say, Marvel, what are we dealing with? Alternate timelines, alternate realities, or alternate dimensions? I can't tell. Can't tell. Can't tell. You know, you thought you was getting a version of Doctor Strange that you saw in What If, but you didn't get that version of Doctor Strange, but you got a very similar version of Doctor Strange. That was one thing that bothered me. That was, another thing. So we got lack of vision. Oh, that's kind of cool to say. The movie had a lack of vision. The villain, I really didn't appreciate what they did with the villain. All right, that was me. So that story's still open. That's 2 open stories that I thought would find some closure in this. The next one ends up being Doctor Strange himself. Is he ever going to become Sorcerer Supreme again? I mean, he's not, according to the stuff that we've seen on different things, because Wong got it on the technicality. We learned that from Spider-Man No Way Home, so that's not a spoiler for this one. So Wong is the Sorcerer Supreme in this movie, so nothing's changed. But I thought that, we get back to it because why? It's been said in the previous Doctor Strange movie, in Endgame, he's supposed to be the greatest of them all. Never got that. All right. Really don't get the uproar about the 2 moms of America Chavez. I mean, that's been in the news, why he's been banned over in Saudi Arabia and those countries. It wasn't even, that scene was not that bad. It was not. It was, come on, man. Come on. It is what it is. Get over it. I get over it. It ain't, it's not me, so why should I be bothered? But anyway, here's the key. Here's the key. Those were all the things, to include little questions, I think. We had some surprising guest stars, which was cool. And, it left, I think it served up to a lot of fan service, a lot of things that fans wanted to see, but I don't think it gave the fans what they thought they were going to get. They saw what they asked for, but they didn't get the full meal. Does that sound right? Okay. Now, couple of things. They did designate the designations for the movie universe and things like that, which I find kind of funny for us hardcore nerds. They mentioned Earth 616, which is the main Marvel universe, which is the comic book one. But this one, which they call one of the alternate realities, they called Earth 853, mistakes the Marvel Cinematic Universe for 616. Nobody fixes that. Nobody understands that. Nobody, it is what it is. Fan service. Though we know it's wrong, and wrong, so, I mean, I don't know how else to say that. But here's one of the cool things. Oh, wait a minute. Let me get it right. It's wrong. Okay, I just wanted to play with that for a minute. I'm sorry. But anyway, so here's the deal. What went right with the movie? Number one, Sam Raimi. I really dig Sam Raimi's style. For this movie to be done as a PG-13 movie, which the majority of the Marvel films are. Well, I'm not going to say majority. All of them are PG-13. The cool part about it is there's enough jump scares, actions, and 70s trippy visualizations when magic is in use that it made me think about going to see this in 3D, but I'm not a big 3D. 3D's kind of falling off, but it looked real good on a large screen, which I did see it. Another little failure. And I'm going to tell you all the stuff that I think wrong because it did more good than bad, but I got to point out the bad. Baron Mordo. You know, I didn't get the closure on his story from the first Doctor Strange movie that I thought I would get because, you know, they ended that movie with after credit scenes for the first Doctor Strange with Mordo going around stealing magic from other magic users, leaving them in an all completely effed up state. Man, I really thought we would get more of that in this film, and that was a plot point that was not touched. Yes, Google did say the cinematic universe is 1999999, and Doctor Strange is playing with emotions. So, us comic book nerds, we know the truth, but you know, and you know what? I kind of dig it. I understand they did that, and if DC Comics is the first that really deals with that a lot because every Earth on DC Comics in their multiverse thinks they're Earth 1. Oh, we're Earth 1. No, we're Earth 1. No, we're Earth 1. No, you know what? Hey, everybody's an Earth 1, you know, in that aspect. And Marvel with their numerical stuff. It is what it is. Well, here's the thing, you know. The jump scares, it fits the Doctor Strange. It fits the Doctor Strange, I would say, aesthetic. If you even go to the Doctor Strange comics, they're not overly superhero trope. They're not in there with, you know, he's not usually fighting your superpowered villains. He sticks strictly with the mystical, wild, sometimes backwoodsy elements. And, you know, it is what it is. Now, the cameos we did get from other parts of the Marvel multiverse, okay, I think was pretty cool. I'm glad they brought back certain characters and added certain new ones. I really hope that the one certain new one, that to me, he seemed like he really embodied that individual. And I'm not going to name who it is, but you know who it is. Okay. You know who I'm talking about. Because it was fantastic. And I'm going to go ahead and say if they don't have him when they do that film, I'm going to be completely upset. I really am. I'm going to be mad because for the short time he was on screen, he really embodied that. And I dig it. I really dig it. This movie, like I say, left me with mixed emotions. So, what do I give it on the Going Full Nerd scale? And then I'll talk a little bit about the after credit scenes. One which has decent ramifications, and the other which was just, it was what it was. Okay. Let's throw it out here. I am actually along the lines of my man Demond. I mean, you know, and Demond's not a big Marvel fan, but it's an entertaining, good movie. Wasn't super great, but it was not bad. So I do give it a 3.5, between a 3.5 and a 3.75 on a 5-point scale. It's just under a 4. It is worth going to see. I would say if 3D is your thing, check it out. If you want to pay a little extra for that, but a nice big screen, maybe an IMAX, is worth the ticket just to go and enjoy. Now, here's the deal. Here's the deal, and this is my thing. What left me greatly excited was the after credit scene, the first one. The second one was a joke. It was cool. We all expect something and then you get that. That's cool. But the first after credit scene really, really gave me hope for the next Doctor Strange film because I was really, really hoping to see that character in this film. And that character has a lot going for it. And the actress that they have for that character, and for those of you who don't know who that character is Clea, the Sorcerer Supreme of the Dark Dimension, aka Dormammu's niece. That's kind of cool. And the actress is, and this isn't a spoiler because it doesn't really hurt the film. It's just, when you got to rush to the bathroom, you're going to see it. Charlize Theron. Wow, that's my girl. That's all point. So Marvel spent some money, got the girl, and I will say the costume looked good. Now, with the ending of Doctor Strange, it does leave me to wonder how certain shows are going to develop and certain move. I know we're going to get an Agatha Harkness show on Disney Plus, and I really want to see how that develops, especially after looking at what has gone down with the end of Multiverse of Madness. I also like to see what's going to happen when you start dealing with Kang and you start seeing the ramifications of Multiverse of Madness because I had a couple of things that I really was thinking about and trying to figure out on who was Kang going to be related to in the Marvel Cinematic Universe because of the time travel, creation, capability, and such. They did everything where it seemed like it was going to go over to Tony Stark. But with the introduction of the character who shall remain nameless, let's confuse all the comic book people even more, but give them another Easter egg to drag them forward. Go figure. But as I will say, 3.5, 3.75 out of 5. Well worth it. Go check it out. Good movie. They usually don't disappoint in May. Now we've got coming up, I believe it's July. You got Thor: Love and Thunder, which is going to introduce some other elements. And then you've got later on coming Black Panther 2 without Chadwick Boseman, which I'm still trying to figure out what they're going to do with that. Now, what are they going to do with Kang? And here's my thing. I'm confused. Alternate time, alternate dimension, multiverse. How do we get this together? Because for them to mention a few of the things and everyone having these doppelgangers, I really want to know how the TVA handles this and how did these histories come about? How did a lot of this thing, what were the divergent points? I mean, they just made a whole lot of things really, really interesting to me. And it also brings to a theory that I've watching on another show that if this is the case, was the MCU timeline isolated with the instances before Kang and all the other ones still just existed, but Kang was keeping that in line? I'm not sure. Looking at the comments, now you need Keanu as Johnny Blaze or Danny Ketch. Here's the problem with that. With the results happening in Doctor Strange, where does that leave that character? And for those who watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., you'll know what I'm talking about, and I'll spoil that in a later conversation later on in the week. But that's all I got for you guys today. I'm hitting my 30-minute mark. I just wanted to say thank you once again for coming out to support. And there's a couple of things I want you guys to think of and listen. Think about the stuff that's coming out. Think about what's going. We got some cool trailers that hit. Top Gun Maverick, can't wait. Jurassic Park, can't wait. Avatar, can't wait. Kind of cool. Kind of cool. But, I'm seeing your comments, Josh, and I'm looking, and you're saying hopefully Hercules shows up, and yes, the Greek gods are going to show up in Love and Thunder because they've already shown the backside, the teaser of Zeus holding the lightning bolt. So I'm sure we're going to get that. But I'm also going to think that we're going to get Christian Bale. Pure speculation, not a spoiler, just speculation that the Greek gods are going to just basically get their ass handed to them by Christian Bale as Gore the God Butcher. Maybe, maybe not. And maybe Hercules will be one of the last Greek gods that go. But who would be playing Hercules? I have no clue. They've been keeping that going well. And last but not least, if you haven't noticed, I haven't finished up my Moon Knight talk. I'm going to go ahead and record a video and post that about Moon Knight. But what I will say is, if anybody has noticed, this most recent, the majority of the stories inside of this iteration of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, this phase 4, right, has been focusing pretty much on the space elements and the mythical gods, Eternals, gods in space. Thor, Love, and Thunder, the gods. Khonshu and the Egyptian gods, and that Pantheon, Moon Knight. And then you had your down to earth elements, your Falcon and Winter Soldier, Hawkeye, things like that. But then you had the more otherworldly, spacefaring, magical, godly, Loki, okay? What If, cosmic. We got Guardians of the Galaxy going to make their appearance in Thor, Love, and Thunder, but they're going to actually show up in their own movie. Boom. And then you got more mystical shows coming up with the Halloween special. They are going to introduce Elsa Bloodstone, Werewolf by Night, from what I understand. And hear it from me. Hear it from me here. What I think is really going to go down is they're going to create their next Avengers team. The Young Avengers have been keyed up with everything. We've now introduced I think we've introduced all the Young Avengers except for Iron Lad, which we're going to get the Ironheart miniseries, and I think she's going to take the place of an Iron Lad if they don't go ahead and, do a Kang variant or whatever. But, you've introduced Stature, Billy and Tommy as the kids of Scarlet Witch. Okay, you've introduced them, even though they quote unquote don't technically exist. You've introduced Kate Bishop, the next Hawkeye. You've now introduced America Chavez. You've also introduced Eli Bradley, Patriot. Okay, so all we need now is a Skrull known as Hulkling, who possibly is the illegitimate kid of Marvel from Captain Marvel. This stuff right here, you can't make this up. They're putting it together, but the key is can they keep up this pace? Because it's getting harder and harder, and the rumor control says, hey, it's hard to keep these stories intertwined, and can't wait to see what happens. Yeah, the word is on the street that these are heading towards Secret Wars. That's the word on the street. And I'm not talking about the original Secret Wars with the Beyonder. I'm talking more the secondary Secret Wars that came out in the comic books most recently, talking about incursions and Earths and multiversal type things. So that should be pretty decent if they do it. We do have a secret invasion coming up, which to me is kind of interesting because you introduce the Skrulls as benevolent and nice. So to see a warlike Skrull show up, this is going to be very, very interesting. But, here's the thing. Marvel's not going to be able to keep this up. And I think what's going to end up happening is they're going to end up kind of reverting to what Warner Brothers is doing right now, which is singular stories that are not interconnected, but they stay within their certain little story timeline, write it off, much like they did with Joker, much like they did with Batman, and doing those type of stories so they could do more movies and not have to worry about big, massive crossovers. I think they're going to get at least one more good, massive crossover, and then they might tie in a couple of different single movies together, or they'll reserve to do that more on their streaming service, Disney Plus. That is pure going full nerd speculation. Nothing, but hey, you never know. It might happen. Now, on a sadder note, let's go ahead. And this is a sad note for DC Comics and for Marvel Comics alike. Just this past Friday, you have had the passing of one of the greatest comic book artists out there by the name of George Perez, who passed away of cancer at age 67. Now, George Perez was single-handedly responsible for drawing and sometimes scripting some of the greatest arcs in comic books. His art, his iconic style allowed him to draw massive scenes with multiple characters, and people really, really enjoyed it. I know I was the one, and I'm going to tell you, he was the only person that could get away with drawing JLA versus the Avengers. Okay? This was the only man capable of pulling it off, and thank goodness we were able to see that project, which sat in limbo for years, get created and was put out there, and we were blessed with it. I'm lucky I got a copy of it. It's hidden away, put away, but that thing is expensive now, and I really hate that people are going to try to make money off of that and all that good stuff, but we've really, truly lost one of the great ones in comics. This is a person who revitalized the new Teen Titans, with their lineup, with Cyborg and Nightwing and Wonder Girl and Wally West as the Flash, Changeling. He revitalized that. The new Teen Titans. He revitalized a lot of characters. He revitalized the Avengers, a couple of great runs of the Avengers where he draws some of the massive teams that we love. All right. Now, you're talking about how can they give us these stories without Cap and Iron Man? Aren't they necessary? Well, that's the whole thing. You've created the multiverse, so you could get a Cap. You could get an Iron Man. You just got to find the right people to play those characters. Now, right now, they've done something, and this is the fallacy of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This is the problem. It's great. We got a massive thing, but now the expectations are still going to be here, and actors get older. I mean, if you take a look at Patrick Stewart on Picard, do you really think he's going to play Professor X in anything too much more? Nothing against Sir Patrick Stewart, but he looks old as hell. And, let's be realistic. We can only do so much with CGI. We can only do so much with those things to make somebody look younger, do stunts and all that. So it's like, come on, guys. Come on. So, lastly, but not least, I just want to say to you guys, thanks for the support. And it's that time of the year, folks. We're going to start it off. We're going to start, Children's Miracle Network donations. It's going to go live. Links will be put up on Twitter and Facebook via my accounts, maybe in Instagram. And we're going to get started again. I didn't get a lot of suggestions. So once again, we're going to do Children's National Medical Center in Washington, D.C. If anybody wants to join my team and be a part of the fundraising crew, send me a DM on Twitter. I will send you the information and the link to join Team Going Full Nerd, and we could raise and get funds for Children's National Medical Center in Washington, D.C. Haven't done it just yet. Links will come. Anyway, as always, we're going to go ahead. We're all living a good life. Happy Mother's Day to everybody it falls into. Wish those other individuals a happy Mother's Day. And we'll see you here next week for something else. Peace, y'all. And did I say it? I'm losing my mind. I must be tired. If you can't say anything nice, don't say it. Give it to me. Let me say it for you. Anyway, peace, y'all. And I'm out of here. And I'm still fly. Everybody smoking all the greenery. Close the match 'cause they were handed down to me. But I'm still fly, I know. And at a certain part, we let it drop. I'm still fly. I'm still fly. Let's go. Hey, thanks everybody for popping in. Appreciate the conversation. It sounds great. It's wonderful. I love when all of you guys are in there. The differences in opinion is what makes this fun for all of us in here. So it ain't about agreeing with everybody. Hey, a little argument makes the bond stronger. Remember that. Hey, and if this is your first time visiting, hey, especially if you didn't watch the live replay, when this gets uploaded and it's a replay, there'll be a little subscribe button. Need you to click that. And one of the cool things, if you like my videos, hit it with a thumbs up. I mean, I see 2 of them, and I know there's more than 2 of y'all in this room. So go ahead and hit the thumbs up. Like it. It ain't gonna hurt you. It ain't, it's not that bad. And lastly, I'm out. Cheers to all the haters, 'cause you proved to me that rising to the top was my destiny.